Hi, you kids and cadets. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Just had somebody stop here. Wanted to know if I fixed pressure washers, so I had to start my video over again. So back at the beginning here. So I had just transported nine running machines over to my brother's. My son Gregory helped me do that transition. The three of us went to Culver's, my brother and my son and I. We had a hamburger meal at Culver's. So usually when I drop off at my brother's, I like to take a few home to tinker with, get rid of the dead inventory I got stored over there. I've got about 50 running machines ready to go for a season. So there was some oddball crap from the 70s and 80s that I picked up. I'll probably end up getting rid of most of that because it's too oddballish. So I grabbed what I thought I could mess with. I've got a Toro recycler here with a Quantum engine 675, missing the front wheel and gear. I got enough junk parts around where I can mess with that. I took this one, the silver deck, probably a Craftsman. Yeah, it's a Craftsman. I looked at the label from here on the back. It's got the model number. This has got cancer, so I'm going to salvage the engine off of this and toss the deck. Grab this old Pulsa Murray 4.5 horse because the deck was solid, high rear wheels. Haven't messed with too many of the Pulses recently. So we got another Turo recycler, homemade gas cap, deck solid. Don't know anything about this one. So that'll be probably a back-to-back with the one missing the wheel. Then I've got this yard machine, which I'm working on right now. I just stripped it down, took it off the lift table and washed it down, got rid of all the grease. I got all the parts for it drying in the sun, the carb and the recoil. So I'm going to spray paint this black, rebuild the carb. So I took this in this morning before my son got here, this Craftsman 475. Guy reached out to me yesterday out of Maryland, phone number, and I don't know anybody in Maryland, but he said, hey, I had you service a mower for me a couple of years ago, and I was real happy with your work. I want to see if you've got anything running right now. I want to see if you'd be interested in trading my 475. And I says, okay, bring it out. So we ended up taking a newer Troy built. I gave 20 trade in. He started it for me, and it does start. He said I went through the carburetor and had rebuilt it, and he's been using it. But the deck here got too sketchy for him. He said he had a small yard, didn't need self-propelled. So I was kind of looking around my brother's patch for a machine with a good deck. So that seems to be what I'm in shortage of right now. I've got plenty of machines with good engines, but the decks are rotted. If I could get a batch of solid decks, I'd be able to even that equation out. So this will be held until I can get another older 22-inch style deck for this. So I'm out here checking out crap. Guy pulls up, says, hey, you buy equipment, and he looked kind of sketchy. in an old beat up truck. I said, "Are you a scrapper?" He said, "No, I do tree service." So maybe I insulted him with the scrapper designation, but he said, "I see mowers sometimes. Do you buy mowers?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll pay better than scrap metal price." And I said, "I take 2 cycle weed eaters and blowers." He says, "Oh, I got a weed eater on the truck. Maybe you want to look at it." He says it's got bad gas, but it has more issues than bad gas. So I says, "Yeah, I'll take it." It looked kind of clean. I noticed right away the fuel lines are gone and the primer bulb is shot, but it doesn't look like a beat up machine. Craftsman. So I says, "Yeah, $10." He says, "Oh, great." And I gave him $10. Maybe it was the last $10 or the last money he had in his pocket. So here it says conforms to 2005 California emissions control. Sears reconditioned. So this came back to Sears. They did something to it and resold it. So I got another project, another 2 cycle project. I says, "You get anything 2 cycle?" And I'd be interested. He says, "What about pressure washers?" I says, "I'll have to look at them because I've got 4 now and no one's buying." So this black cat showed up 5 days ago, and I've been feeding it twice a day, so he thinks he owns the yard now. Little skittish. I think it might be a stray. It finally let me pet it. So it got used to my son. My son was pet. My son's got a couple of cats, so I guess I adopted some neighborhood cat. We'll see. It knows when to show up in the morning for food. I got it some chicken pate, and I think it likes that. So didn't want to interrupt you with a black cat video, but guess coming down here to check out my mowers. So that's the update. I got this all-wheel drive. I still got to go through it. John in Texas wants me to do a video on this, so I will. The 625EX, maybe I'll do that at the end of the week. This has to be gone through. It kind of kicked off roughly, but no cap, and it was full of water in the tank. So I overcame the water a couple of times. It momentarily kicked off, but I think it's just saturated. So that's my Wednesday update. Nothing really to show you that's fixed. Just getting the ball rolling. My son's going to come back Saturday and we're going to do some organizing. Put all the pressure washers in one section, all the needs repair in one section. Try to get organized because it's not organized. I want to get things ship shape before season so I'm not running around with my head chopped off. If I need to find something quick, I need to be organized and on the ball. Anyway, that's it for right now. I'm going to finish up this yard machine, rebuild the carb, put it all back together, and go from there. I'm kind of looking at the deck. It's a little bit different style than the Craftsman silver deck, but I think it is a 22-inch cut. Yep, 22. Anywho, that's all I got for you. JetBlue's coming to town. I like their paint scheme. They're bringing a boatload of spring breakers to Southwest Florida, which is fine. Come on down, enjoy the sun. 80 degrees today, sunny, nice breeze out of the north. It's all well and good. You guys have a good day. Happy hump day. Please tip your waitress and wait staff. Adios, amigos. We'll do it. We'll do it to it, Pruitt. I hear the squirrels. They probably aren't too keen on a cat down here on the ground. They're up in the oak tree, squawking the squawk.